How much does it cost to upskill in BIM? That's the wrong question. The right question is, how much does it cost to not upskill in BIM? You're an architect, engineer, technologist, technician or contractor, or you're a company that employs these types of people. Your business or your job involves producing and managing architectural, engineering or construction information. Current practice is to use several ways to describe and communicate information about buildings or infrastructure, including 2D CAD drawings such as plans, elevations, sections, details, etc., 3D models, Excel schedules, and Word specifications. For the purpose of the discussion, let's establish a baseline cost of business for production resources. For example, the average salary of an employee is €50,000 per year, and the average output or production of the business is €150,000 per year per production resource using current practices. How much more efficient is BIM over traditional practice using 2D CAD, Excel, Word, etc.? Firstly, in BIM, you're no longer describing things in several ways, such as plan, elevation, section, detail, schedule, specification, produced as separate or independent documents. You simply insert a 3D object into a model once. The object has enough graphical data or geometry to produce or generate all drawing views. The object also has sufficient non-graphical attribute data or properties to generate any notes on drawings and schedules. Secondly, when changes occur, as they always do, you are not having to amend several documents individually. You simply make the change once in the 3D model, and that change is automatically reflected in all the output documents which are produced from the model. Thirdly, since all the output documents in BIM are being generated from the same underlying model or database, you don't have to spend excessive time checking and cross-checking the documents for coordination issues, errors or omissions, as you have to do in traditional practice when making changes in several documents individually. Fourthly, potential design or coordination issues are much easier to identify far earlier in the process and much easier to resolve in the virtual building before having to deal with those issues during construction later, which can be very stressful, expensive and time-consuming. Lastly, you can communicate the design to all stakeholders in a more efficient way through the digital data-rich 3D model versus 2D drawings and paper-based documents, so that everyone fully appreciates and understands what is being proposed, which means there will be less misunderstandings, less changes later, and less adversarial contractual administration dealing with delays, variations, cost overruns, disputes, and possibly litigation. And most importantly, you get to enjoy your work again, as you no longer have to carry out mundane, cumbersome, and repetitive tasks of trying to keep multiple separate documents coordinated and up to date. Given all of the above, how much more efficient is BIM over traditional practice? At least twice as efficient? You'll have to decide. Let's say, for the sake of the argument, we take a conservative 20% efficiency increase. So the same resource, on a salary of €50,000 per year, would now produce €180,000 per year output. Therefore, not using BIM is costing you or your business €30,000 per year per production resource when compared to the baseline cost of business of traditional practice. But in order to use BIM, you have to change your practice from traditional tools to BIM. You'll need to invest in hardware, software, training, and time to learn a new way of working. What does it all cost? A good computer might cost about €2,000, which will last at least 4 to 5 years, approximately €500 per year. Good BIM software might cost about €4,000 per year. The training required might cost about €1,500. Production time lost to undertake training, and for the initial lower productivity in the learning phase of 2 to 3 months, might add up to 15 to 20 days loss of productivity, which could amount to €4,000. All in, the cost of upskilling to BIM could be €10,000 per production resource. If we deduct this from the efficiency gained above, you gained €20,000 in the first year of implementation. So even bearing these investment costs in mind for the first year, not using BIM is still costing €20,000 per year per production resource when compared to the baseline cost of business of traditional practice. What else will it cost you not using BIM? Well, if you don't have the skills and capability, you may be excluded from a BIM project, particularly with government and client BIM mandates. Or you may be unable to attract or retain BIM-enabled staff. Or you may not be able to get a position in a BIM-enabled practice or keep your position in a business that is moving to BIM. So before you make the important decision whether to use BIM or not, make sure you ask yourself the right question. How much does it cost to not upskill in BIM? ArcDocs would like to be your BIM implementation partner. We are Ireland's leading BIM consultancy and have been helping people, companies and projects to implement BIM for over 10 years. You don't need to do BIM the hard way. We are here to share our expertise with you. Please contact us to discuss how we can help your business, your projects or your career.